Hello, hello, hello. This is Charita Cadenhead, founder of Renew, Refresh, Reset Your Life. Thank you for joining me. This evening, I'm going to be interviewing artist Latrice Mixon, or Erika Mixon. Some of you may know her as. I'm waiting for her to show up, so she isn't here yet. But I want to thank you all for joining me. So we're going to give her just a few minutes. We're going to give her as long as it takes, really, because we can't do the interview without her, right? I'm going to tell you a little bit about her once she gets on. This interview usually lasts maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and we are going to be talking about obviously the life of an artist. I know personally, when I think about artists, I think about the days of old, still the starving artists. So we're going to find out if that's still the case today, and how artists promote themselves, how one becomes an artist, how to elevate oneself as an artist and be recognized as such. So as soon as Erika gets on, we're going to get started. If she's not on in about a minute or so, I think I may give her a call just to make sure that she's not having some issues here. She may have logged on to the wrong one. If you have created an account, and even if you haven't, you see something at the top that says live chat. And then if you click on that at the bottom, if you have questions or comments, you can ask Erika or you can ask me questions. Toward the end, if you want to come on and ask for some questions personally or join the conversation, you will be able to do that as well. Also in your screen, you'll see what looks like a little gift box. If either Erika or myself says something that resonates pretty deeply with you, you can click on that and kind of give us props. You know, say, yeah, I hear you. I agree. Good word there, and the like. So I see, again, I want to welcome you all. I see that Erika has joined us. So I am going to give her a brief introduction, and then we are going to start this interview, which I have been very excited about doing that. I have a great appreciation for art myself. I'm not a connoisseur of it. I just admire good work, and who doesn't, right? So let me tell you a little bit about Erika. I've got her bio here, and I'm going to read directly from it. I'm not going to read all of it because as I'm interviewing her, I want to kind of go through her bio to talk about where she started from, where she is now, and where she's going. So one of the things that Erika says, she says, growing up, I have always been one to be held captive to my thoughts. I know that story. Distracted by the wondrous shapes and colors of life that surround me, and intrigued at how to recreate all I saw before me or in my mind. She's a native of Fairfield, Alabama, and the only child of two loving parents. She says, I have always found ways to express myself, but the art of drawing seemed to be a natural form that she gravitated to. So Erika, I'm going to go ahead and invite you on that note, and we'll get into some of your bio as we progress with this interview. You should see the accept button. There you go. Quick and easy. I like that. Hello. Hey, Queen. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
I do. I hear you good.
Okay, very good. So I've got this save thing, this Pinterest save right in the middle of your head on my screen. Do you see that from your screen?
Your picture or mine?
Yours. I think it's just on my screen.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Where the little Pinterest says save?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
No,
okay. So I'm gonna click on that, see if it goes away.
Okay.
Or it might just post to Pinterest, which is cool. So you can share this link to let people know that you are on live.
Okay.
And we want to do that. Those people who are watching, if you can figure out how to share this on your Facebook pages, we would appreciate that. You'll see the Twitter bird at the bottom right. It is on my screen. You will also see the Facebook sign at the bottom right. If you would share that with your followers so they can join. And as I interview this magnificent artist, Latrice Mixon. Yes. Yes, very excited. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share this on Facebook as well and let them know that we're live.
Okay.
Erika, you can do the same. I would appreciate if you do the same. Just share it using that link. So we are on live. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, all right, very good. So we got Lori Butler Barnett, and I'm assuming that these are daughters of
Lori!
yours. Lori's here.
Hi,
Seasons Diner and Desserts. Oh my goodness, I'm
I
hungry
just
again.
met them today. Hey,
You
Miss
did
Etta.
really very good.
Let
Darius,
me move my gum. I'm sorry.
that's okay. We have Darius Mitchell who's joining us.
Hey, boom. That's my cousin. Hey.
Hey, cuz, how you doing? And Deborah B.
Yes, that's the bestie.
All right.
Hey,
And
Deb.
T 500 5000. I'm not sure who that is. If you
That
recognize
is my aunt who is always supporting me so much. Hey, Auntie.
Hey, Auntie. All right. And Jelly Sanchez is joining us as well.
Hey,
Thank you
that's the best
all.
too. Hey, Jolly.
Very good. Very good. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So, one of the reasons, Erika, that I asked you, I mean, ever since I met you, I've always been fascinated by art. I'm not an artist by any means, but everybody likes good art. Okay. So I want to start out talking about how you became an artist. You say you always you discovered that you knew how to draw or paint or whatever at an early age, and you kind of gravitated to that. So how did that process begin for you?
Well, I think for me, it's just the way that it was an outlet because I was an only child, or I am, I am. But I grew up as an only child, and I was always into something, whether it was singing, dancing, in certain organizations. And I found that drawing was a way for me to, just some downtime, had nothing to do. And I would doodle and just make shapes and forms. And every time I looked around the room, or if I was outside looking, around outside, I always saw images, even just normal everyday settings. I would see a picture in the sky. I made the clouds into a picture. So I would try. I was like, that looks like something to me. I'm going to try to recreate it. And I would just doodle on paper. And it seemed like something that looked nice once I finished. And I would always run up and show my parents, and they seemed to, think it was nice. But
Right, exactly.
I'm sure, they're biased. I'm their daughter. But they would just encourage me. They just would never stop me from doing it.
Right, exactly.
Just pour into that part of me. And I found that whenever I was doing that, though, that I was just happy. I was happy in a way that I didn't have to be doing anything else, or if anything was going on outside of school, or if any issues were happening in my life, if I picked up that paper and that pen or that pencil, it just didn't matter anymore in that time when I was doing it. So it helped.
Okay, so that kind of leads to my next question, because I can imagine as an adult, and so how old were you at the time, if you don't mind my asking?
When I discovered, I'm sorry, I would say what comes to mind is 8 years old.
So let's talk about that, and we'll move forward, because I can imagine when you're in the process as an adult creating. So when you touched this a little bit, as an 8-year-old, when you're creating, you say you figured out you were your own world, and it was happiness for you. But in your mind, I mean, did you recognize this as a creation? What was that feeling that you got? Did you have that? Because I can imagine what it is now. So did you have that as an 8-year-old?
I would love to make that answer real dramatic and, like, yes, it was just let's be honest. I was 8. For me, it was just, oh my God, I just drew this. It looked just like the picture I saw. What?
Yeah. That's it. So that's exactly
I did it. So it was, I guess it boosted my confidence really.
Yeah.
When I started getting into it and like, oh my God, I really made that picture look like that picture I just saw.
That's
right. That's kind of what it started out as.
Okay.
And I would say as I got older, it became more connected to me emotionally.
Okay. But that wow and look, I did it. That's an emotion too.
That's true. That
is an emotion. So that's what I'm looking for here. So, but it changes over time, just like we transform from children to adults. Okay. So it says here, says after discovering your ability to draw and later paint, so you were encouraged by your parents and your close family and friends. Now, And I believe that parents, once parents recognize some sort of talent in a child, they should always encourage that. Encourage that. So let's talk about that for a minute, because I know, and I've talked with young people, not so small, but young people who end up doing things because it may be, you know, a popular path to take, such as engineering or science, and they cast their passions aside. I know a young lady, because I work at UAB, and I remember we have this summer program for research experience for undergraduates. She was an engineering student.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now this young lady is a designer, a clothes designer, because that's always where she wanted to be. So let's talk about your parents encouraging that passion and not necessarily trying to steer you out of that into something else, or how they combine that with some of your other strengths.
Well, I would say they were very encouraging. They never really stopped me. You know, if I was wanting to try something, and, you know, I did a lot of things outside of art. So they were always encouraging me to find something to do with my time, something constructive, something positive. But when it came to the art, I think they saw that I spent a lot of time in that particular area. And it was my mom in particular who really took the time to encourage me to go a little further and challenge me. So she actually, painting is not something I knew about at all. I just used to sketch and doodle. And she met someone by chance who was a painter locally in Birmingham, who actually still paints today. His name is Jerome Austin. And he taught classes. He's a self-taught artist. He did oil paintings, or does them. And he taught out of his home. And she actually took me there, and we talked, and I was introduced to oil and didn't even know what that was about, what oil paint was. And that's where I really fell in love with color. And I was like, oh, this is neat. And, you know, I just
color.
Right. Yeah. Mixing colors and learning how to blend and learning what to do, what not to do, and how to recreate images in paint is totally different from sketching. It's a totally different process, and it brings about a totally different, to me, power to the image when you do it that way. So I took some classes from him, not long, to be honest, maybe I'd say a year at best. And after that, it was just me going and just taking what I learned, and I would do it at home. My mom bought me art supplies. She bought me an easel. She did whatever she had to do.
Right.
What I needed. She didn't just take me there and say, okay, well, you know, do what you got to do your best. Right. But if he said, hey, she needs this, if she's going to do it, she got to get this, she would find a way. I didn't have, my parents weren't rich. I mean, we grew up, I think, like most middle class families, and you know, at times check to check, and you know, I didn't have name brand anything growing up. So she found a way, and I appreciate her for that more than I knows and more than I expressed to her, because what she poured into me at that time, though it was a short time in that year, it now brought me to where I am today.
Yeah, and you know, because I know your mother, right? And so as you're talking about it, like I know where she is right now, and I can see her in my head, and I can see her eyes, you know, wanting to cry, you know, and appreciate it. And you know, but she knows very much. I know she knows very much how you appreciate that. But you know, when it comes to our parents, we just can't appreciate them enough, it seems like. But they know. So yeah, good job, good luck, good job.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, and so it says during your early years you were self-taught artist, but later, okay, so you received this formal training. Do that year you spent with this artist, do you feel like you needed that? Did you need that? Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say I would have found a way, but actually I'm going to say yes, I needed that, because I don't know that I would ever have gravitated towards painting. I might have stayed in the doodling, you know, lane of art, but I did need what he taught me. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I can understand that, because when you don't know about something, you're always supposed to be in learning mode. And if you have a teacher or a mentor into an area that you don't really know anything about, you know the talent side of it,
Yeah.
You know, so that absolutely could not have heard. I think I saw somebody else show up here.
Do we?
Yeah, no, I had one of the authors on the book that I'm doing, Nora Hale. She was here, but sometimes she has some trouble dropping. Henley Darrington has joined us. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Good deal. So I say you chose to put your artistic talents to rest for a few years to pursue an education in healthcare. And so getting into what Renew, Refresh, Reset Your Life is all about. Okay. Yeah. It's about people who make those changes in their lives and trying to get into their head about why they make those changes. So you set aside, and where that comes into play is you set art aside for a minute, and then at some point you came back. And you say you did that to pursue an educated in healthcare. Did you totally stop creating while you pursued this education?
I quit totally, 100%. Didn't pick up a pencil, draw a picture. For about 15 years. And
really?
I did. And I actually, here's the thing. A lot of people don't know this about me. There is a school here in Birmingham for the arts. It's called Alabama School of Fine Arts.
Mm-hmm.
So my juncture was about 8th grade. So when I was looking at high schools, I actually tested there and I got accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not go.
You didn't go?
I made the decision not to go, and it was really just because I felt like it wasn't going to be the high school experience. I thought it was going to be just.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I want to be honest. That's an honest thing. I mean, and I was allowed to make that choice as a teenager. So,
right.
But I don't think my path has veered off. I may have taken a turn, and I won't say any mistakes were made. I think it's all working for the good now.
Mm-hmm.
So art came right back to me when it needed to. So 15 years I was doing no art whatsoever. I straight went into science mode, which is another love I have. I have a huge passion and love for science.
Okay.
That's what drove me into healthcare. That's also something my parents also knew. I've always loved science and a lot of science and math programs growing up too.
Okay.
So I thought I was going to be a pediatrician. I thought I was going to be a nurse practitioner and all these things. So I eventually did find a way into healthcare through X-ray. So I became an X-ray technologist.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of by chance. I really didn't. It was by chance.
It wasn't your goal.
It wasn't my goal. But here's the thing. I find it interesting that I chose a field in healthcare where I'm taking pictures.
I was when you said that, I thought, well, that's art.
And
I see my lungs and everything, right?
Yeah, and I was really intrigued when I learned more about it by the images, and I get to see the inside of the human body, which I love, and the different angles that you would get to see through different imaging modalities. So I'm fascinated that I'm like, it's interesting that I'm still doing something like pictures in a way.
Yeah.
And eventually it got to a point where the art came about when I kind of got burnt out with just doing healthcare.
Okay.
I began to wrestle internally with wanting more out of life. Wanting out of my day-to-day than just what I have to do at work.
Right.
Am I making a difference and am I enjoying what to make a difference? I was making a difference, but I wasn't passionate about going to clock in. I think we all can just take a pause.
If we're honest about it, right? Okay, so let's just be honest about that. But people, I know people who go to full-time jobs and they have something that they do and follow their passion, but they actually love their work. So some people do, and some people, don't. Anyway, so when you went into healthcare and you were gone away for 15 years from art, did you? Obviously, it was a very conscious decision. But did you miss it? Did you or did you just do your thing in healthcare?
I just did my thing in healthcare.
Okay.
What happened for me was 2008. This is what happened. This is why Erika is painting today. In 2008, I kind of had gotten to a point where I was like, I'm over this. I'm going to go and do my own thing. What I had come to understand about myself, which you always got to take time and self-evaluate. I had come to learn that Erika is not meant to work for anybody. Erika's supposed to work for herself. Now, I will work for someone because I have to. I got to pay.
Right.
But when I knew that, I didn't know what I was going to do, though. I still was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, though. I don't know what kind of business to run. I've never run a business. I don't know. I was lost. Well, I took a chance. I quit a job. Never done that before. I was in limbo for a couple of months. I started a business. It did not work out.
What was that?
It was design. I think we're doing event planning.
Okay.
And I was actually doing it with one of my best friends. And we laugh about it today because we're both kind of kindred spirits. But that was not the road we were obviously supposed to take. And I went back to work into healthcare, into the same field. And when I got that job, I needed something. Well, let me step back. I prayed about it. That's something also that I'm very serious about. And in a prayer time one evening, in this time of me not being employed, people, I literally saw a vision of 3 paintings, and this is one of them behind me. There was a clear vision in a prayer time, and I saw every color, every placement of every object, and I felt that I was being led to paint this. I challenged myself. I was like, am I crazy? Because I didn't tell myself. I was like, I'm going to paint. I saw the vision in a prayer. I felt like it was being said, now paint it. I hadn't picked up a pen, a paper, a brush in 15 years. Where when you put in part of the flyer or promo about the self-inflicted fears about it, I threw that heavy. I was telling myself, I don't have it anymore. I can't paint. I don't know what I'm doing. I've not done this in 50. I'm not doing it. It literally gnawed at me. It was like just biting me every hour until I literally went to the store, picked a canvas up, a brush, and some paint. And remember, I had to recall. I was like, what do I do? How do I start? I sat on the floor in my apartment in Montgomery, Alabama at the time. And I just started with what I could remember, trying to paint 3 images. I only shared that with one person at the time because I was like, I don't want people thinking I'm crazy. Like, you saw a vision from God. Okay. We know how some people can take that and some people can't.
We know how some people don't know God, but that's what
you know God.
When you don't have that intimate relationship, you don't know what it's like to see God and have that vision for God.
He's so real, and it was so clear to me. And I don't really care if people think I'm crazy now, because if it's not revealed to you, it's fine. I get it. It was for me. All right. So I wrestled with it. I tried. I picked it up. It took me 5 years to finish 3 paintings.
Yeah, right.
I mean, off and on. I was picking it up. Did I say 5? Maybe 3. 5, something like 5. I think it was 5. And that's what got me back into painting. And then as I saw the paintings as they were being done, it was actually ministering to me. Me into a place and encouraging me. And I'm like, what this is for? Is this what you meant it? Like, maybe the vision was just for me. I don't know if it was for anybody. And then I said, no, this is something. You're showing me something. And you knew I didn't know what kind of business to start. And I also believe in writing things. You gotta write it. You got to believe what you write. You got to act on it. I wrote down in a prayer list and I fasted. This was later on, a couple years later. And I said, I don't know what kind of business I need to start, God, but I do know this. I know that I care about people feeling better. I care about sick people. I also know that I love art. Combine the two, that would be the best job in the world for me.
Yeah.
And that's where Art RX came about.
Okay. Art RX. Okay, because that and I've got a question here. It says, healthcare and art, how do they connect in some way? So the prescription, is that your prescription, or is that prescription for others?
Prescription through my art, you mean?
Yeah. Art, you say is it Art RX?
Art RX, and for me, it was
like a prescription.
Yes, it's like a prescription, and hopefully that my art will somehow impact you to where you're feeling better in some way, or even if it disturbs you in some way, it's going to be for your good.
Yeah. Because good art affects you in good ways and bad. Okay, but if it affects you, it's good art.
Exactly. That's the whole point. And if it affects you in some way, if it touched on something, no matter if it made you feel in a positive way, indifferent, or maybe a little negative, then it's hit something in you. And that's something for you to choose to go further or not. And to look, why did that make me feel like that? Hey, that's all my job was.
Yeah. So and people, in art, in any art form, whether it's drawing, painting, writing, singing, and people don't always have to do it, but it's all designed to be introspective.
Yes.
Yeah. So your music makes you feel good, but not in a way like art does or writing. It makes you feel good, but does it make you look inside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you touched on the other forms of art, because I pull a lot from other types of art to inspire me. Music, for one, is very influential and inspiring me as I'm creating or what I want to create later. And a part of my mission now, I've become, I would say, an art advocate, because when we mentioned earlier that, a lot of times parents don't pour into their kids' talent or passion, more say leading them towards the academic route in life, like saying that that's higher or that's better than, I know you're gifted and we're going to acknowledge it, but this is where you need to go in order to be successful. That's not true.
Right.
Make awareness of people to know that they're both the same.
Exactly.
Equally. And know that every gift that we've been given, which to me is divine, no matter what it is that you have a talent in, that is something that is meant to be shared.
Right. Exactly.
Impacting other people in a good way. Now, I think that I have a part of me has been, I want to say it's like a platform. I want to say I'm trying to really push that art matters, art is important, and art is different. Don't just think of painters. Don't just think of paint when you think of art. So I'm always trying to encourage people to pour into what you see. If it's a sculptor, if it's somebody who builds houses, if it's somebody who's a singer, dancer, like you're saying, all things, songwriters, poets, people who don't think of what they have as art. Don't down it's good. Somebody needs what you have.
Yeah. So let's back up a minute on several things here. So let's back up on you say here, this notion to reinduct myself into art world was one met with plenty of self-inflicted fear and discouragement, but the message in your heart was the motivation. So let's talk about that, because I know, and particularly with a career path like this is not as certain as some other career paths might be. Let's talk about that self-talk. Do you even now, do you have to do that to keep yourself motivated? Is there still that fear? And talk about, because I deem myself, like, I'm an introvert. You know that. Okay, we talked about that. I'm a straight up introvert all day long. Okay, people don't understand it because I do stuff like this. Okay,
Yeah.
but so I'm in my head a lot. Okay, and I read something a little while ago. It says, it was one of these introvert Facebook pages says, everything is out of my comfort zone. Okay, you need to know everything's out of my comfort zone, but not letting that stop you.
Right.
Is that what you do?
Absolutely. I can start right here, right now, with me on this TV screen talking to you. I got a text, from one of my best friends, and she was saying, you got this, you can do it. She was encouraging me. My very close friends, no, this is not what Erika does. Videos, social media is not my thing.
Yeah.
Is more personal, private. I wouldn't say I'm an introvert, but I'm more of a person-to-person contact kind of person. But this is going to push you out. You can't say you're ready to do something that God is giving you. Not be ready to get outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not about you. So I have to constantly tell myself, I don't know if you're familiar or if anyone out here with Brene Brown.
Oh yeah. I
constantly tell myself, do it afraid. That is what I'm doing. I am doing it afraid. You may not know, you can't tell. I'm not going to just sit here and hear. But as I'm speaking, I am afraid in some form. I am nervous, but I know that there's a point and there's a reason that this is being done.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're made of. You don't know what you're capable of until you step out of your
step out. Exactly.
More and more every day.
Yeah. So, and I always say that, when it comes to comfort zone, because that's sort of my platform. I deem myself the exit strategist because everything I want to do, I need to figure out how to do it because everything is outside of my comfort zone, right? Okay. Right. So, I always say that the comfort zone really is anything but comfortable because it's so anxiety producing, right?
Yes. You can see me right now.
Yeah, it's stress ridden. It's anxiety. It just produces anxiety and stresses you out. So it's really not a comfort zone, okay? And anything that prevents you from doing what you want to do cannot be comfortable. So number one, they need to change that name, okay? The uncomfortable zone. Let's call it that, the uncomfortable zone. So, and it's a stretch. And when you do that, at least with me, for one thing, there's really nothing to be afraid of because it's all up here in this big old thing right here. Okay, this stuff we created in our heads. Okay, because with me, I know whenever I step out and do that, I'm just so glad that I did.
Yes.
Yeah, and you talk about God, you talk about gifts, and people have the mistaken notion that gifts given are gifts to be kept. Gifts are really made to be shared. Okay. Yeah. And when you talk about a challenge, okay, God is the greatest challenger in the universe.
Yeah. Be careful with that.
Yeah, because everything he gives you is a challenge from the start.
Yeah. And here's the thing, God knows you. He knows what you're made of. He created you. You are divinely created. Now, he's not going to challenge you in a way that he knows you're going to fail.
Oh, yeah, right.
We do that to ourselves. We will create things that sometimes allow us to fail.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do fail, and it's not because of you. But here's the thing. Failure for me is not even anything that allows me to be scared because I feel like failure is the way to fail forward. If I'm a fail,
right.
From it, and I'm gonna go another way, or I'm gonna figure out another way, and I'm gonna choose to look at it positively and grow from it. So you fail. If you fail forward, that's a better way to do it.
Yeah, right. Now I have this big thing about words. You know, and you may know I'm co-authoring a book. It's called One Word, and there are 14 of us. And one of the authors is here. Hey, Janora, thanks for joining. And so each of the 14 authors, we've selected one word to write a chapter about in 1,500 to 2,000 words. Okay, and so we talk about this word failure. So every time I hear you say a word, I think about where that word can go. And so when you talk about failing and failure, you know, when does failure really exist? You know what I mean? Like, for example, you know, I think about, you know, failure, you know, I failed at this, or, you know, afraid of failing. You know, because everything that you deem to be a failure to me is really a learning experience. And in that case, can you really consider a learning experience to be a failure?
No, you can't.
Yeah, you just can't really. So you have to change the way you look at the word. And the only other way I can think of is that when you fail is when you stop trying.
Yes. And I've also learned to stop. I mean, I still say it. It's out of habit. You know, it's a part of our dialect to say the word.
Yeah.
But I've reminded myself more and more in these past years that if something doesn't go according to plan, or what I plan, or how I would like for it to have gone,
right,
I try to omit the word failure, and I'll just insert that sentence there. I'll just go, that didn't go according to plan. Yeah, I'll just try another way. Or, I thought that would have turned out differently. Well, apparently, it's, you know, supposed to be, or it just went another way. If you do it another way, it helps you to turn that around in your head. Because it all starts right here. You're your biggest critic, your biggest enemy. Yeah. You believe what you say first, no matter what another person says.
That's right.
Say first.
That's right.
So this is where it starts. So that's that self-inflicted thing. It's always a constant battle.
Yeah, it's always a constant battle, and we are our worst critics, because we can scare ourselves to death. We can talk ourselves out of more things. You know, even knowing when something is God ordained, you still have that battle about, you know, one, can you do it? And when God really gives you to it, He gives you everything in order anyway. Okay, but just learning to trust that. So let's talk about let's get back to the subject of art for a minute. Let's talk about it as storytelling.
Okay. Well.
So, you know, even that piece behind you. Well, two things: storytelling, and because I don't know if you know Hermione Carn. She lives here in Fairfield, and she's one of the authors of this book. But she's a chef, and she talks about how food talks to her.
Okay.
Does art talk to you?
Absolutely. And I feel like I don't want to do anything that does not speak to me, nor to another. The whole purpose of me painting is not, first of all, never do anything for money. Drive is financial success, then I don't know how far you're really going to get. I don't know where your happiness and your joy is really going to be in what you're doing. To me, that matters more.
That's the treasure the Bible talks about, that treasure in your heart. Yeah, where your treasure, where your heart be. Okay, so
my whole thing about, like I said, going back to Art RX, it's about making somebody feel good, making people feel better. There are people that are hurting, deep hurts, deep wounds. I'm talking about people that are 50 plus. It's people that are 70 and 80 years old, still struggling with hurts they have from their childhood, their past.
Yeah, right.
And there are people dealing with issues physically and mentally and emotionally that medicine just won't do. It'll help. It may balance you. It'll get your serotonin levels where you need to be at points in life or in days to feel better. And sometimes that is it to get you somewhere. But I'm talking about the deep stuff that sometimes people are scared to go there. Right. And if you see something, sometimes it'll take you there, even if you didn't, because you didn't initially go yourself. God may have been trying to get you there and you keep avoiding it. But if I just walk past this image one day and look at it, and it then triggers something in me, and I know I got to deal with whatever just happened.
Yeah, right.
For art, for me, definitely has a purpose to tell a story. So for this image, if you can see a little bit of it, it's a it's a third of a piece called Faith, Hope, and Love. Now that's the first part of it that I said God gave me. I didn't even know what the name of it was. I just knew what it looked like. And I called this one Faith. So I'm always telling a story. I'm trying to let you see that what a faith walk looks like from a first person perspective. This is what life looks like you in your perspective. I mean, you know, you're not knowing really where you are at times. It looks dark. You don't know what decisions to make in every situation in your life. But if you keep your eye on the light at the end of the tunnel, or, you know, stay faithful, looking towards God, you at least know which direction to head. I may not know what choices to make where it's at now, but I know if I just keep my eye right there, that's the right place to go. That's the right direction. Don't get distracted by the snake that may be in the woods right now, or rock I just tripped over on this path. Don't get stuck right there. Just keep going. Keep looking right direction. So I'm always trying to tell some kind of story in any image that I put out.
Yeah, because the eye is naturally drawn to the light. I mean, I can see that. I can see that. And once you start talking about it, I can clearly see that. Faith is knowing at the end of that, at the end of that, those trees, that path where the light is, you know, you anticipate that, yeah, something very good, something very great is there waiting for you. Yeah. I mean, that's what I see. That's what I see. And so also, hey, Yvonne, thanks for joining us. That's one of the co-authors on the last book that I did from the I Am Woman book. I appreciate you joining us. But so when you talk about, you know, being that prescription, do you ever paint?
Oh, yeah. Pain? Yeah. You can't. I mean, art is gonna challenge you in ways where it's not out. Art for me was therapeutic as well. Not even, I say art RX is to make other people feel better, including myself. See, I finished the piece. I told you it took about 5 years for this first vision, right? That kind of got me on this path of art. And I didn't finish this piece until something very tragic happened in my life. And when my father passed, which was in 2013. I was not done with this painting yet. And I just picked the brush up and started painting more on it. And I began to feel better as I was painting it. It started to really soothe my soul. And I would just look at it for hours. I would just sit and look. And it just really helped me. It just took me to another place where it was therapy. I mean, outside of real therapy that use, it helped me. And some images that I do come up with now, I will have things that don't look so pretty, but it may show something painful. But I feel like art is supposed to be a voice as well. I'm not just my perspective. I'm trying to speak for people who can't speak for themselves. I'm showing images from people who have pains and hurts that they hurt so bad that they can't say anything out loud, and they wish somebody would say something about it. And that's what art is about. That's why you have songs that tell stories, and you're like, you know, I can't believe they're singing about that. Well, a lot of times they're singing songs for other people who can't say things, from other people who've gone through things. So that, I have some painful images that people may feel like, that's not so pretty, or that doesn't make me feel so great.
Yeah,
It's not to make you feel great. It's meant to make you understand.
Yeah. So and so, you know, you've already asked the question, but one of my questions was, when they look at that painting and it's coming from your place of pain, do other people see that pain in your painting? Some people, I guess, can, and some, you know, they feel it in a different way.
That's true. And that's where you get into you know, art is subjective. You gotta be prepared for that. So just because that's what I intended, or that's the story I'm telling, you may very well get a totally different feel, vibe, and story.
That's right.
What I painted or showed. And that's what it's about. I'm not here to tell you you're right or wrong. It's just that if that's what you took from it, then I'm open as an artist to then, well, you explain to me, how did you get that? I love that. I love that about art.
That's right. Okay. So let me see. I'm going to stop just a minute and welcome some other people. Jay Chanel. I think I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. Thank you for joining us. Lori, I think you've kind of been jumping in and out. Sometimes people get disconnected from the Sonia Ward. Yeah, Jasmine Taylor. Rasheen. I think I got that right. Okay, thank you all for joining us. We have with us Latrice Mixon. And so that's how you sign your art. Latrice. Okay, I like it. Latrice.
I signed it as Latrice.
Let's talk about we tapped on this a little bit, but let's talk about art as social change. Does any of your work, do you think, inspire social change? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Some of my upcoming work will. I can hear you. I can't see you anymore, but I can hear you.
Here. Oh, did I touch something? Let me see. Hang on. Hang on. Let me see.
Okay.
You can't see me, huh? Okay, well, we can see
but
you.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I might have tapped on something. Oh. There's no telling what it is. I don't want to keep tapping because then I might disappear and we'll all be disconnected. So if I can see you, that's good. If you can hear me, that's great. Okay, so let's talk about artist social change.
Okay.
So you said you have some upcoming work.
Okay, so
reflects that.
Yes, yeah, I definitely have. Okay,
so let's
I definitely have some pieces.
Okay. So let's go back.
Okay.
Even if you can't see me, just keep talking.
Okay, so I was saying art as social change. I have some upcoming pieces because you cannot be an artist and not be affected by what's happening around you, and you can't feel like you shouldn't speak on it. I don't think a true artist, I'm someone who truly is in tune with what art is about. You cannot sit here and have things happening around you and not feel like you should do something. And of course, a way to do it is something you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable with art. I'm comfortable with using that as my voice and expressing either how I feel about it or how someone has been affected by what's happening. So I absolutely feel like that should be used as social change, an avenue for social change. And it's been done for years. And people have done that, artists. I've always been, I do a blog as well. And I did a piece or a blog post about the artist who was the Black Panther artist. He actually did the artwork in the newspapers at the time when the Black Panther movement started. And I was just intrigued by it. I mean, it wasn't words. He just did it all in pictures. And it was so, to me, it was insightful. It was thought-provoking, and it was bold, for somebody to do something like that at that time. And I plan to do the same. I think you really need to be prepared and ready to do things like that if you want to be an artist. Like I said, for me, it's not about money.
Okay. So your upcoming work I can still see you. Your upcoming work that reflects social change. Can you talk about that? What that is? Okay. Your upcoming work that reflects social change. Can you talk about that a little bit? What is it?
Oh, sure. So a couple of things I have. One is about not getting too heavy into politics, but just having a woman running for president. So I have some images coming up that deal with just the power of being a woman, womanhood, what that means. That's more or less what the images are meant to imply. And I also have some pieces that kind of dealing with, of course, the police brutality, and televised more in the media. It's not anything new, but it is something that is being made more aware of due to the technology we have today. Exactly. That's really what it's not new. And then I also have some pieces that deal with self-love, because to me there's been an everlasting conflict within the Black culture or African culture when it comes to loving yourself, your skin tone, your natural hair texture, being proud of it. I have some images coming up that deal with that, and then also just with some racial tension subject matter. It's going to be probably not make people feel so good, but it's truth. And I'm not saying facts, it's truth. There's a fact, the truth. Right, exactly. So, yeah. So yeah, that's soon.
Okay, all right. So, what is where's your blog? What's the URL?
Oh, it is artrxbiz.wordpress.com.
Okay, we're gonna put that in there so people can follow you. Do you participate in Art Walk?
I have not participated yet. I plan to. I plan to do a lot more shows locally. Right now, I'm trying to balance work life, a 9-to-5, with a passion. So it's been a bit difficult trying to balance that. That's in and of itself. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. How do you? I'm working on some pieces. So,
how do you? Let me see how I can figure this out. You know what, Erika? I'm gonna X you out. And I'm gonna bring you back. Okay? I'm gonna close you out, and I'm gonna bring you back. I think this is gonna work. So you should be able to accept, Erika. There you go. This should work.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes.
Oh, great. All right, very good. Yeah. So that balancing that work and this passion. I mean, how it's so difficult. You know what I'm saying? And for me, you have this thing that because I'm not, healthcare. I may not be as passionate or like my job as well as you might like yours, because you intentionally went into healthcare. Yeah. So, but for me, those hours thinking about what can happen, after 4 o'clock, or how much can I manage to get done after 4 o'clock, and there's never enough time to get it done, and that's that uncomfortable zone. Okay, it's not comfort zone. That's that thing that might produce me stress because I don't have the time enough to me to do what I'm really loving. Yeah. So how do you deal with that? How do you work around that?
I try my best to plan things out. And when I say that, I mean like schedule time each day to work on. I make a goal. I'll say, okay, today, this is what I'm going to do. I'll make sure that I finish one thing before I begin another. That's where it can get a little crazy for you and cause some stress. If you're just trying to do too much with the passion, along with what all you have to do at your, regular job. So for me, strategizing, organizing, saying, doing one goal at a time. And if things do begin to double up, then just take a breather.
Scale back.
Yeah. Make sure that you take care of yourself also. There are going to be some long hours though. I mean, you can't try to do something like this, an entrepreneur type of goal, and expect to sleep 8 hours every night. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, right.
First couple of years, you know, I mean, I read a lot, and I look at a lot of different people who have become successful. It wasn't always that way. And they all tell you the same thing. I did this, I put in so many hours, or I lost this much sleep. And, you know, I really didn't have this much money at all. I lost money for 5 years. You're going to put out more than you get back initially, but it's going to come back to you. Whenever you're doing something right will come back.
Yeah. It will come back. It will come
but balance, self-care physically matters. I try to eat as best I can to make sure at least my body is going to be well equipped to take in these hours that I'm missing of sleep. Making sure I do one goal at a time, trying my best to do that. If it doesn't happen, I just try my best to finish things in a timely fashion. And that's pretty much how I'm working it right now.
So, you know, you say, you know, scheduling is very important to achieving that. And you talk about self-care. Do you schedule not only self-care, but time for yourself? I know for me, if I go hard, really hard, and once it gets to me, I'm like, for a week, I'm no good. So it really just makes sense for me to schedule that week. Okay. To regroup.
I do. I'll be honest. I've burned out here and there to where, I mean, physically to where I just couldn't do another thing because I'm so exhausted. And I've learned to schedule self-care days. Honey, I am a fan of a spa day. Let me tell you. I will schedule a spa day in a minute and don't want to be bothered. I don't want to pick up a phone. I don't want to look at the email. I'm not picking up the brush. I'm not doing anything but making sure Erika is back at 100%. You can't run at 100 all day, every day, and expect.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Spa day, please. And her name is Jennifer at Little Morocco Skin and Body.
Shout out to Jennifer.
Little Morocco Skin and Body, honey. She'll get you right.
She'll straighten you out. Okay. Well, look. So let's talk about photography because you know, when you had your art show, I came there intentionally. Your mother had told me about it. I said, well, I'm gonna come, but you know, and back then I would not go anywhere without my Nikon. Okay, so you know, I wanted to be a photographer for the day, which really, God, I produced some beautiful pictures. And I was like, golly, I did this. You know, and I was like, yeah, they were great. So I learned too that you were a photographer or just getting into photography. So do you have much opportunity to do that? And also, when it comes to photography, do you take your photographs and transition them into art pieces or drawings or paintings?
I do. So let me backtrack a little bit about that day and just say thank you once again. I want to touch on people. Listen, everybody, every viewer that's looking at this, God will make a way. I'm saying that to say that show I put on in 2014 was something I did all by myself. I didn't have a photographer, and I was like, "Who gonna take pictures? Ain't nobody take my pictures." I just said, "You know what? I can't worry about it. It's one of those things. Don't stress about it. I just want to have pictures. I had got to settle with that." But like you said earlier, Charita, God will put things. He will supply everything you need. I didn't worry about it, and yet He placed a photographer in my show who I didn't even know you then. Who volunteered to take pictures, and they were beautiful.
Yeah, they were. They were good. Thank you.
Thank you again. But that is actually, I started dabbling in photography, and like I said, I love pictures, I love images, and I went to class actually to learn about it, and it just kind of got to a place where I was like, I don't know if I got the time.
It's complex.
It was a little more expensive than I can afford at the time, and the school I was going to here in Birmingham was just it was too far, and I was going after work. It just wasn't working out. But
yeah, okay.
yes, I did turn a couple of pieces. My intentions for my photography were to use them as art pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I have kind of just gone straight to painting at this point.
Okay.
But the art, the photography that I did, or the work I did produce early on, I did use them as art pieces.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, good.
Them, edit them and make them into more artistic photos.
Yeah. So, so do you have work anywhere, that are being displayed anywhere?
I do. I have 2 pieces. Actually, there's a boutique downtown not Third. It's called Chabet's Boutique. It's a clothing boutique, women's.
Yeah, I know what that is.
If anyone is familiar with, I think it's 3rd Avenue or 2nd Avenue North.
It's in
the.
It's 3rd. It's a one way going toward the post office.
Right. I have some artwork there that actually is being displayed. I'm trying to think. I have an upcoming piece that I did for a book that's going to be published soon for an author, Dr. Danica Hickman. She is a clinical physician here in Alabama, in Birmingham, who's also an author. She's written a couple of books, and I think this is her 2nd, maybe, or 3rd book. But I did the cover for her.
Okay.
That'll be coming out soon. And that's what I have so far that I can recall.
Okay. Okay. So Darius, who's your cousin, says, "Cousin, let me know when you want to do an art show in the Big D." What up, Doe? Okay, I know you know where I'm coming from on that, Darius. What up, Doe?
Yes, I will do one quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm from Detroit too. I'm born and raised. I didn't get here till I was 22. So great. Yeah, right. So look, so one other thing we're going to talk about here, when you purchased your house, we got to talk about you and your art, and you were saying, and one of the things that you might do in the future was teach art to children. Mm-hmm. And I haven't forgotten about that. Of course, I'm not going to forget about that because I have a student for you, right?
Okay. Okay.
So is that something that maybe is still on the horizon that you would, that you may plan to do in the future?
I definitely have big plans for art. Mm-hmm. I'm no longer lost with what I'm doing. Like I said, when you just take a chance with God, He'll show you and reveal to you as you go. You don't always have to know ahead of time. Anybody out there who feels like that, which I'm type A, okay? I feel like I got to know everything before it happens. I'm like, well, Lord, I asked you about this, and this.
Yeah. You're right. Right.
That's where faith comes in. It means you don't know, you trust, and you believe in steps and implicit. So my plans in the future, ArtRx will have a gallery somewhere.
Okay.
And I want that gallery to actually function as a studio as well. So I would love for it to be a gallery to show my pieces as well as local artists in the area. Like a studio to conduct classes for the I really want to pour into youth. I feel like I want to give them an outlet because some of them just need it. They're dealing with a lot of things socially.
Yeah, right.
With in my generation. So I think that they need another form or just need a place to just let some steam off or explore that part of themselves or have somewhere to go. Even troubled youth who just need a positive place to be in the time while they get out of certain situations. Right. Avenue for that. So my plan is to eventually get to that place to have a storefront, also to sell my own work. I know it sounds like a lot, but I want this one building, house a gallery, a studio, a shop, kind of place. And I also would like to give back in the community because I really love to be around elderly people. I love it because I think that you gain so much knowledge. I have so much respect for somebody who has been through and lived through so much, seems that they can pour into you things that you really, really would never get in any other way. I think there are a lot of forgotten about people too in these nursing homes, and I just think it's sad that you have family, or they just were put in the home for another reason, or just don't know what it means to sit down with somebody one day and have a conversation with them over a cup of coffee. That may have made their week.
Right.
Take for granted made their whole week. They may have put a little piece of joy in their heart just to know, okay, you know, somebody cares, or I still I'm active to just work their minds. I mean, idle time, horrible when you're not doing anything, and you do lose it if you don't use it. So I give back in a way where I can maybe travel around a couple of nursing homes, maybe on a monthly, quarterly basis, and have like little art classes with them. Just kind of let them be active in that way.
Yeah. Okay. That's very good. And immediately when you said that about singers, and I know your mother's watching on here. I'm not sure which name she is, but you need to probably be good. I'm thinking when you said that, you probably need to connect with my aunt Sabrina Mays. She just did something at Mount Pilgrim a week or so ago. I'm not sure if your mother knows that that's my aunt, but she also has this passion for working with elderly, and she has this program, and I think the two of you could probably come together and do something together. So I'm always trying to make connections in that way. So we've gone a little bit over, and that's okay. We just let the conversation drive it, and there's not really a time limit unless you just really have to go. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, like I knew I would. Yeah. And so let me tell you, I am so honored to be the first person to interview you.
I'm honored to be interviewed. Somebody asking about me in these streets.
She's never been interviewed before. So to me, this is very worthy because people don't know. I don't know any artists. Okay. And the only impressions I have of artists is again from days of old with the starving artist. Okay. But it has changed so much, over that course of time. And so there's an outlet for anybody who wants to be an artist. There's a path. This storefront that you want, where you have your gallery, sell your work is if it's not big,
what's the point?
Why go after it anyway? I mean, you're supposed to think big. I mean, what artist wouldn't want that? So it's either big enough or can get bigger, and I think that's a great goal to aspire to. Definitely a good direction to take. And I don't know what other directions are there for artists to take. I mean, of course, there's teaching, like in schools. There's galleries like yourself. So what other types of areas or directions do artists go in?
That's a good question. There's actually, I've learned myself just from reading about this and getting into it. You can not just own a gallery or just paint and do craft shows, things like that. You can become an art therapist. That's something I'm actually interested in.
Art therapist. Okay.
Actually certified therapist. Like there's a degree.
Really?
Yeah, people. You can get a degree in art therapy, a master's.
I can see a need there. I can see a need there.
So art really does help. They found that scientifically it really does. It does. It connects a person in a way that really can, make them feel better outside of medicine. There's also, you can render drawings for realty companies. You can do comics. Make your own comic. You can do pictures for magazines. You can work for sports companies. There was someone I met that he does all the drawings for one of the college football teams, any of their paintings. You can do works for I've seen that. Home interior. They're home interior designers, you can produce the artworks that they want to use in the homes for the stage. Right. There's a lot of different areas.
A lot you do. Okay. Very good.
Financially stable artists, you will not starve. Okay. Ain't nobody starving.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Look, if you starve, you're not as creative as you thought you were.
Right? Either you starving, you're not doing the right thing, or you don't know how to manage your money. Let me tell you,
one or the other.
$5 then you don't need 50 or 100 or 1,000. You need to manage. That's the problem is right here, right here.
Yeah, I understand. I get it.
Girl, I'm sorry. I'm a little country too. Y'all excuse me. Let me get back to my interview posture. So exactly what I was saying.
Look, this is the real deal. This is live and in person. Okay,
I was doing this afraid, so now I got comfortable.
That's okay. I know that this has been a learning experience for me, and that's why I brought you on, because number one, I wanted to learn. Okay. Number two, I know whoever's watching can learn something as well. I know that adults have children that are artistic, and they might not know, what they can do with that talent. Okay. And they need to nurture it and encourage it, and know that artists, they have this passion for art, and they can aspire to it, and the parents don't have to worry about them starving. Okay. Particularly if it is a love of the craft. Okay. And so do what you love, the money will come.
Yes.
Okay. Do what you love, and the money will come. So you're right. You can't focus on the money. Also, I'm gonna read some of the comments here. So Sandra Hill Ward posted the address to Chabets, which is 2209 3rd Avenue North. Okay. Yeah. Jolly Sanchez says she's having a proud friend moment. Can you see these comments, Erika?
I can't see them. Where are they? Wait.
Okay, click on the live chat. Okay, and even during the replay, I think when you come back, you can read some of these comments. Okay, Loretta, message from Aunt Chris, who is on speakerphone. I'm extremely proud of you and admire your passion and commitment. Yeah. So they love Erika. You are a beautiful soul and a talented artist. Love seeing your work. Congratulations, great interview. Hi, that's from Lori Butler. Okay, Cecilia, so proud of you. And you've been missing all of this. You would have been distracted.
I didn't see any of this.
Thank you.
This is good. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions for Erika? Any of our guests have any questions for Erika? Also, I would like to invite, if you want to come, if you want to take a seat here and ask some questions, or share your own experience with art, or talk with her. I'm not sure how you do it from that perspective. There's some way that you can ask to be invited on, and I don't know exactly how to do that. But if you find that prompt, I'll see it, and then I can invite you to come on and take a seat. But if anybody have any questions, we certainly welcome that. I know a lot of these guests most of these guests here are here to see you, Erika, and I'm so glad you've got the support. Rashim is an artist. Okay, S. Rashim.
Where's Rashim?
Is he an artist?
Hold on, I'm trying to look. S. Rashim.
Do you know
I don't know. What's the first name? What's the S for? Maybe I do, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad S. Rashim is here. There's some questions. I'm seeing them. Where do you pull inspiration from to create your pieces? I pull inspiration. Here's the trick, you guys. You ready? I got a secret. Are you listening? Be present. That's it. You know what? That's the hardest thing to do. It is so hard to be present. What I mean by that, when I say be present, here's the thing. We are bombarded today with social media and knowing what's happening all day, every day. I need to know what's going on over here. Who's doing this? Who just posted this? Or what bill is due tomorrow? Or I need to go run and pick my baby up from here. So got band practice. Or we're always thinking about our lives. You are never really present. You could be eating a meal, not even enjoying it. You're thinking about, okay, how much is the check gonna be? I done went out twice this week, so I know I don't need to go. Present means present. Present means I am sitting here.
How about sitting?
Yeah, I am aware of what's going on right now with me. I'm aware of what's going on in this moment. I am present in it. I feel it, whatever that moment be, whether it's good or bad. And when you are present, you begin to see things clearly. You see things you wouldn't have seen because your mind wasn't somewhere else. And that has, for me, been the best inspiration. because it's brought me pieces and thoughts that I was like, oh, I wouldn't have noticed that had I not just really sat here and paid attention to really what's going on. And also, outside of being present, music. I love music. All kinds of music. I love music. And I feel music. I feel it when it's on. It's not just the beat. It's not just what they're saying. It's all of that combined. And I just close my eyes and I get into space. And I just get to just painting. And I'm like, ooh, I just felt that. I know what she's talking about. Oh, I know what that means. So music and being present.
Look, I'm gonna ask a question to listen to what she said. I'm sorry, I hear this echo and I'm supposed to stop to this thing, but I'm gonna ask a question to those who are listening. When she said, I love music, all kinds of music, whose head went straight to the OJs, okay?
Baby, let me tell you, I like some old school too. Like, I would listen to Bobby Womack and paint. People be like, what?
Amen. Yeah, because even speaking about that old school and Bobby Womack, BB King, Bobby Blue Bland. I mean, those are storytellers. I mean, those are the storytellers.
That's where the artists, like you said, they tell a story. It's not just rhyming to. I'm saying something, and they really put an image in your mind.
Right.
And if you ain't mad about it, if Bobby ain't make you mad on some songs, you know the woman gotta have it. Let me tell you something. I got an image for it. I got an image. Yes, I did. My auntie said I grew up listening to. I did.
She did. Yeah.
And there is another question. Somebody
about what is your favorite piece of artwork?
Oh, I think it changes from time to time because as I create things, I'm kind of just captured by how it's affecting me at that time in my life. But I think to date, it's got to be the vision, the one that started me back to painting, the Faith, Hope, and Love. For all of you all who have never seen Faith, Hope, and Love, if you go to my YouTube channel, yes, I have a YouTube. I'm not on it. My painting is though. But if you go to ArtRx Biz on YouTube, I actually have like an unveiling of that painting, and I did a video, everything kind of talking about the piece. So to date, that would be my favorite piece, more or less behind the meaning of it, and it just constantly reminds me of things. It speaks to me and ministers to me on a daily basis. That's my favorite piece so far.
Okay. So this is behind you is Faith. When do we see Hope and Love? When is it? And can you really put a time on the development or the creation of your artwork? Is it just forthcoming? I mean, can you really put a date on it? Say, I'll be finished this, and you don't really know.
No, Faith, I'm sorry, guys. Hope and Love is in the other room. It's not behind me. But to answer the question on time limit, I want to put a plug in. So I've entered into this world of commissions, right? I'm learning as I go. So when you're doing a commission, that's where someone pays you to do a piece of work for them that they want in a particular way. Sometimes not necessarily what you want to create. Well, that's a challenge sometimes. It's not anything. I'm accepting of it because it challenges me to learn, how to do something or see a vision from somebody else's perspective. But you cannot say, I need this done in a certain amount of time. A creative process is just that. It's a process. There takes time to inspire. You sometimes have to get reference images, and you have to have a time and a place to really. I get in a zone. I can't speak for any other person. Some people can probably just give you stuff like this. Okay, you picture. I can have it done by Friday. That's a gift in itself. Erika don't have it. Erika takes her time. Erika paints in oil as well. That's a whole nother caveat to it. I have to wait for things to dry before I can add another layer. So you have to explain those things in the commission process. So that's a part of it, as well as I need to be in a space to really produce what needs to come out of this image. Because I'm putting myself into it. I'm not just giving you something so I can get your money.
Right.
I want you
Right.
to be satisfied. I want you to be happy. I want you to feel what you need to feel from it. And then I need time to do that, to give you that.
Yeah.
So
Do
yeah, it takes
you have
time.
when people commission you, when they commission you, do you have to be in their head? You know what I mean?
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I mean,
Sometimes I do.
is that how you get it done? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, we have a thorough conversation, or we'll have many conversations until I really get it. Or I'll just do things and show them ahead of time to make sure, am I getting what you're saying? Am I on the right path? I don't like to just try to give somebody something and not knowing clearly what they
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, listen, we're gonna wrap it up. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. There will be, I think the replay is not always instant, but when the replay becomes available, I will send you a link. Ideally, if you could share it on the social media platforms that you have. I know that there's LinkedIn. I don't know if you're on Twitter. There may be some others that I don't know about. We need to get you some more interviews, lady. Okay, we need to get you some more interviews with other people. I'm going to send you a source. I'm going to send you a source.
All right, do it afraid. I'm saying.
Yeah, do it afraid. Okay, and so tell people how they can contact you. Some ways people can contact you. Someone listening may want to commission you. They want to maybe share something that you said with someone else. How do people contact you?
I am either on Instagram or Twitter, and they're both at artrxbiz, ARTRXBIZ. That's the name on Instagram and Twitter. Or you can find my YouTube channel, which is the same, artrxbiz, ARTRXBIZ. Or you can find my blog and read about some things. It's not just about art, it's about life. And that is artrxbiz.wordpress.com. And I also, I have a website. Lord have mercy. My website has all of my work on it, including interviews that I've done with other artists. So that is www.artcan-heal.com. www.artcanheal.com.
Okay.
So my website.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, you can't get her through any of those, and she can't be got, right? Okay.
Oh, I got an email address. I'm sorry. And I have an email. Anybody just has questions about commissions or anything. Right now, I'm kind of cutting the commissions off because I'm planning a introduction show in January, hopefully. So I'm working on my own portfolio to present there. But artrxinc@gmail.com is how you can get in contact with me about anything art related, any questions you have about me as an artist or something like that. Just feel free to email me. So I think pretty much that's where I am. And y'all just look out, honey, because I'm coming. I'm going to be out in the street.
That's right. Hey, look. You saw it here first. You saw it here, folks. You saw it here first, okay? Right here.
Right here. Charita got it first, honey. She got the first interview. Boo, sorry for you. You didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm like Fox 6 and Channel 6. I got the exclusive. You heard it here first, okay? Yeah. She's coming out, all right? All right, everybody, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining. I'll share the replay link with Erika, and she will share it with you all. I usually have a podcast every Thursday and Sunday evening at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I think Rashim is an artist as well. So Renew Refresh is Such a Life. It's all about people. I don't see him here anymore. But if you'd like to, if you would like to come on as a guest, I welcome that. You can contact me at renewrefreshreset@gmail.com. Anyone who has made any significant changes in their lives, you're welcome to come on. I'd love to have you as a guest. You can, if you know someone who might want to share something with other people, because that's what this is all about, sharing information that is useful to others. Also, if you're growing and developing as an entrepreneur, no matter what you do, this is a place where you can be exposed to it. Okay. For those of you that have an interview, this is an interview that you can share with others, maybe so that you can get other interviews. There are ways that you can use this video in your own platform. So on that note, I'm going to say good night, everybody, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Erika. I appreciate it. Love you, girl.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.